Hello again, and welcome to the reading of the Times Reporter newspaper for Monday, February the 15th. My name is Pam, and we'll begin our reading with the area deaths. Mary G. Fondreist Barrett, 87, of Denison, passed away Friday, February 12th, with her family by her side at Trinity West Medical Center in Steubenville. In keeping with Mary's wishes, she will be cremated without public visitation. A celebration of Mary's life will be planned at a later date. Edward F. Groff, 81, of Newcomerstown, Ohio, passed away February 12th to be with his Heavenly Father following a declining illness. Viewing will be at 12 p.m. on February 17th, with services following at 1 p.m. at Addie Funeral Home in Newcomerstown. Military services will be conducted by the Newcomerstown Veterans Honor Guard. Ronald Lloyd Moore, 82, of New Philadelphia, died Friday, February the 12th, in Cleveland Clinic Union Hospital at Dover while under the care of Community Hospice. A funeral service celebrating Ron's life will be led by Pastor Brian Flood at 11 a.m. on Thursday, February 18th, in the Lynn Hurt Guide Funeral Home and Crematory in New Philadelphia. The family will greet guests in the funeral home 1 hour prior to the service from 10 to 11 a.m. Diane K. Bradford, age 55, of New Philadelphia, passed away Thursday, February 11th, in Community Hospice's Truman House. Honoring her wishes, there will be no visitation or ceremony. She will be cremated through the care of the Tolan Herzig Funeral Home and Crematory in Dover. Katie Ann Raber Hirschberger, 93, of Millersburg, passed away at her residence on Thursday, February 11th, after a period of declining health. Funeral services will be held at the home on Sunday, February 14th at 9 a.m., with Minister Mark C. Miller officiating. Burial will follow in the Hochstetler Cemetery. Friends may call after 1 p.m. on Friday and any time on Saturday. Paul R. McHugh Sr. of Dover, 91, went home to be with his Lord and Savior on February 12th. Funeral services will be held Monday, February 15th at 1 p.m. at Faith Baptist Church in Bolivar. Friends may call from 6 to 8 p.m. Sunday evening, February 14th at the church and 1 hour prior to the service on Monday. The service will also be live streamed on Facebook on the Faith Baptist Church of Wilshire Hills webpage for those who are unable to attend. Phyllis L. Moore, age 82, of Millersburg, Ohio, passed away Wednesday, February 10th, at Majora Lane Care Center in Millersburg following a period of declining health. Graveside services will be 1 p.m. Monday, February 15th, at Nashville Cemetery. Leona Mae Wilson, 77, of Denison, Ohio, passed away Sunday, July 31st, following a brief illness. Per her wishes, there will be no services. And that concludes the area deaths from today's online edition. We will now begin with our first article. Ohio reports 1,809 new COVID-19 cases, 6 deaths on Sunday. Here's the latest on the coronavirus pandemic in Ohio. This list will be updated after 2 p.m. each day. As many as 4,000 previously unreported COVID-19 deaths will be added to the state's tally in the next week after state officials learned an employee had not been properly reviewing death certificate data. The Ohio Department of Health issued guidelines for self-serve buffets and salad bars to reopen on Friday. Vaccine appointments will be stop and go for weeks, providers say, as the state works to inoculate a pool of about 2.2 million Ohioans. Ohio is in Phase 1B for COVID-19 vaccinations. That includes people age 65 and older, school employees, and people with severe congenital and developmental conditions. At least 939,350 people have been reported to have COVID-19 in Ohio. According to reports, 16,346 have died. Police asked to be included in COVID-19 vaccine distributions. Tuscarora Lodge No. 4, Fraternal Order of Police, is asking Tuscarora's county commissioners and city and village councils in the county to pass resolutions urging Governor Mike DeWine and the Ohio Department of Health to include police officers in Phase 1B of the COVID-19 vaccination distribution. Currently, Ohioans age 65 or older are eligible for the vaccine. Also included in these groups are Ohio school personnel, Ohioans with intellectual or development disabilities, and people with severe congenital or development disabilities or an early onset medical disorder. I sincerely hope your legislative body will strongly consider helping your local law enforcement officers who are at risk daily because of the many people they must deal with on a day-to-day basis, Bob Everett, president of the FOP Lodge, wrote in a letter sent to local government leaders. The Ohio Fraternal Order of Police has been lobbying the governor's office to get law enforcement included in Phase 1B. The push for law enforcement to get vaccinated includes Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost, who took to Twitter after Columbus police also made their case to be included in the vaccine rollout. According to a study by Mercy Health in Toledo, law enforcement are at a higher risk of contracting the virus compared to other first responders. Our next article, New Philadelphia seeks grant for burn building for firefighter training, by John Baker. The city of New Philadelphia is applying for a federal grant to construct a burn building to give live fire training to its firefighters. The grant from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, Assistance to Firefighters Grant, would pay 90% of the cost of the $300,000 structure, which would be located behind the New Philadelphia Fire Department on Front Avenue Southeast. The final $30,000 would come from money raised by selling bricks in the fire station. Fire Chief Jim Parrish told council members last week that the fire department already has a training classroom and a training tower. Construction of a burn building would be the next logical step. To get live fire training now, firefighters have to go to Stark State College in North Canton or to a facility in Wayne County. Having the structure would aid New Philadelphia in recruitment and raise the bar for other fire departments in the area, Parrish said. Currently, the only other option is to do training in a structure that is slated to be demolished and has been donated to the fire department. You don't have the same control as you do in this building, he said. You can bring it up to 600 or 800 degrees. If something goes wrong, you can open the vents and all the heat dissipates. In response to a question from Councilwoman Cheryl Ramos, Parrish said the burn structure would have no impact on neighbors. There is little smoke and no noise. The fire chief noted that getting the grant from FEMA is a long shot at best. And now, Wilderness Center to hold the Fun Run Walk. The Wilderness Center, 9877 Alabama Avenue Southwest in Wilmot, will hold a 1-mile fun run or walk at 8 a.m. April 24th. Registration includes a race t-shirt, a safely managed race experience, after-event snacks and drinks, and a chance to win awards. The early bird pricing deadline is March 3rd. Early pricing for the fun run costs $15 and $10 for those ages 10 and younger. The 5K or 10K costs $25. The fun run with either the 5K or 10K costs $30. And the 5K and 10K combined costs $40. The virtual race experience costs $25. Standard pricing will be offered from March 4th through April 4th. Early pricing for the fun run will cost $20 and $10 for those ages 10 and younger. The 5K or 10K will cost $30. The fun run with either the 5K or 10K will cost $35, and the 5K and 10K combined will cost $45. The virtual race experience will cost $30. Late pricing will be offered April 5th through April 23rd. Early pricing for the fun run will cost $20 and $10 for those ages 10 and younger. The 5K or 10K will cost $35. The fun run with either the 5 or 10K will cost $40, and the 5K and 10K combined will cost $50. The virtual race experience will cost $35. Race t-shirts cannot be guaranteed for registrations received after April 5th. Awards will be presented to celebrate the top overall male and female in the 5 and 10K. Awards will also be offered to the top male and female categorized by age. Age categories will include 13 and younger, 14 to 18, 19 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, 50 to 59, and 60 and older. Our next article, changes coming to COVID-19 vaccine registration process. The Tuscarawas County Health Department announced Friday it will no longer accept names for its wait list for the COVID-19 vaccine as of 4 p.m. on Wednesday. The agency cites the fact that there are more than 5,000 people on the Phase 1B wait list and supplies of the vaccine are limited. The decision was made in response to the Ohio Department of Health's plan, or the ODH, to soon launch a central vaccine registration website for all eligible Ohioans, and the TCHD will be transitioning to ODH's online registration system during the next vaccine distribution phase, the health department said. ODH has not yet announced when the next vaccine distribution phase will begin or which priority groups will be included in the next phase. The health department will continue to offer appointments to those registered on its 1B wait list until the list has been exhausted. At that time, the health department will transition to the statewide online registration system, where individuals can view and make an appointment for a vaccine at their convenience. As of Friday, there were 7,849 cases of COVID-19 in Tuscarawas County, an increase of 27 since Thursday. Of that number, 399 are active cases and 7,239 are presumed recovered. Tuscarawas County Long-Term Care Facility COVID-19 reports as of February the 10th. Amberwood Manor, 1 new staff case. Country Club Retirement Campus, 1 new staff case. Hennis Care Center Boulevard, 2 new staff cases. Hennis Care Center Dover Nursing Home, 1 new staff case. Park Village Assisted Living North, 4 new resident cases, 5 new staff cases. Park Village Dover Campus Nursing Home, 2 new staff cases. Park Village Southside New Philadelphia Assisted Living, 1 new staff case. Park Village Southside New Philadelphia Nursing Home, 2 new staff cases. Up next, Midvale picks Denison Fire Department to replace struggling volunteer unit by Nancy Molnar. Midvale Village Council has chosen the Denison Fire Department and a private ambulance company to replace its own struggling fire department. Members voted 4-2 on Thursday to contract with Denison and Smith Ambulance of Dover, which will provide emergency medical service. Council members Bill Weaver and Deborah Krieger dissented. Krieger wanted the village to contract with Uhrichsville for fire and emergency medical service. She recounted a January 29th incident in which her son was trapped between a trailer and a car. She said he might have been freed sooner if firefighters had called the Uhrichsville Fire Department to bring a winch, instead of waiting for Denison to bring one from the village of Tuscarawas. Midvale Fire Chief Jason Kukwa said he asked Denison firefighters to bring the winch from Tuscarawas because Uhrichsville does not have one. Krieger said Uhrichsville does have a winch, a statement confirmed by a Uhrichsville firefighter. Voting in favor of the contract with Denison and Smith were council members Wayne and Molly Brandon, Jerry Propp, and Donna Kohler. Denison will provide fire response for $16,000 annually in the first and second years, and $16,500 in the third through fifth years. Smith Ambulance will provide emergency medical service for $17.75 per person per year. Uhrichsville had offered to provide fire response protection for $16,000 annually for up to 5 years. The city offered to provide emergency medical service for $16 per resident in the first year and $17 per resident for the second and third year. The village currently spends $30,000 to $34,000 a year on fire emergency medical services, according to Fiscal Officer Georgiana Turner. The total includes a $12,000 annual payment to Smith Ambulance. Following Council's actions, Midvale expects to receive a contract from Dennison and Smith, which will then be reviewed by village solicitor Gregory Swope. Kukwa said he plans to continue to serve the village as a volunteer first responder, but not an employee of Dennison or Smith. He said other members of the Midvale Fire Department live elsewhere, making it unfeasible for those volunteers to provide fire and rescue service in Midvale. Police Chief Brian Anderson said he and his officers can provide first aid. Midvale should see improvement in its fire protection rating after switching to a fire service that has firefighters on duty, Dennison Mayor Greg DiDonato said. He said Midvale will have a voice in operations of the coalition of township and village governments that cooperate to receive fire and ambulance service with Dennison and Smith. The village may choose a representative to attend the group's meetings monthly or quarterly. Yerkesville Fire Chief Justin Edwards and Service Director Belle Everett made a final pitch to council on Thursday. Everett said that if the village were to contract with the city, Midvale would get the same level of service as Yerkesville residents. Resident Shannon Thomas told council that Yerkesville would be a better choice than Dennison and Smith. He said Smith responded to 71% of the calls for service in Midvale in 2019 and 72% in 2020. But Turner said Smith's contracts with the village say they will respond when they have a squad available. Thomas said Dennison and Smith contracts will cost Midvale about $1,900 more than Yerkesville over 2 years. He said the choice would be an unwise use of resources and that other village departments could use that money. He also noted village officials are seeking an additional 0.5% income tax in the May primary election. Turner said the price difference between the two offers was $967 a year. Thomas said Yerkesville offered Midvale more favorable terms for ending the contract if desired. Yerkesville would have allowed Midvale to end the contract with 120 days' notice. The contract from Dennison and Smith could not be terminated until December. And now, Dover Chemical files suit against the City of Dover over electrical service by John Baker. Dover Chemical Corp. filed suit this week in Tuscarawas County Common Pleas Court against the City of Dover and Law Director Doug O'Meara over issues involving electrical service from the municipal-owned Dover Power and Light. The company alleges that city officials have made false, inflammatory statements about Dover Chemical. The action comes as City Council considers an ordinance that would place a surcharge on the city's electric customers located outside the corporation limits, specifically Dover Chemical. O'Meara has charged that employees of the Electric Field Division have been maintaining and upgrading the lines and equipment inside Dover Chemical in violation of an ordinance passed by Council in 1975. O'Meara has said the surcharge would allow Dover to recoup some of the money from the free services he said Dover Chemical has received over the past 4 decades. According to a press release from the company, Dover Chemical engaged in months of concerted efforts to resolve the dispute, but were rebuffed by the city. Dover Chemical prides itself on being a good steward in the community and major employer of Dover residents. Dover Chemical has been a customer of Dover Power and Light for more than 40 years. Like any company or person outside of the city limits, Dover Chemical could always purchase electricity from another supplier for far less than Dover Light and Power's inflated electrical rates, the company press release said. But the city and Dover Chemical long recognized that both benefited from their cooperative relationship. In 2019, the company asked the city for a rate reduction from the city. Dover Chemical was shocked by the response from other city representatives, the press release said. These city representatives publicly alleged that Dover Light and Power failed to bill Dover Chemical for amounts in excess of $2 million, and that Dover Chemical was somehow responsible for the city's failures. The city further alleged Dover Chemical somehow acted unlawfully. The city refused to document or substantiate these claims, attempting to coerce Dover Chemical to capitulate. The company is asking for a judgment of more than $25,000 punitive damages, attorney fees, and any additional relief deemed just and appropriate. The suit was filed in the court of Judge Elizabeth Lehigh Tamacas. And now, Dover Mayor has yet to respond to calls for his resignation, by John Baker. Dover members of Dover City Council have yet to receive a response from Mayor Richard Hammerkhausen on the letter they sent him Tuesday calling for him to resign. Council President Shane Gano said Friday that he had not yet heard from the mayor, and he was not aware that any member of council had heard from him. Hammerkhausen was sent a letter Tuesday signed by all 7 members of council and Gano calling for his resignation, citing his declining ability to lead the city. Council members have complained of missed deadlines and time-sensitive material not being addressed. They also say there has been a lack of communication from the mayor. Council will meet as a committee of the whole at 6:30 p.m. Monday to discuss the situation further. I don't know what direction council wants to go on this, Gano said. Hammerkhausen has not responded to multiple attempts by the TR seeking comment. He was first elected mayor in 1991. He is in the middle of his 8th term in office. And now, 1,300 boxes of food distributed during Food Box giveaway. In Sugar Creek, the Farmers to Families Boxed Food Giveaway distributed 1,300 boxes of food to residents in need on Thursday. The giveaway, held in the parking lot of Superb Industries in Sugar Creek, has distributed food for the past 3 weeks, beginning in January. On Thursday, cars began lining up in the parking lot at 2:15, and all of the boxes were gone by 3:45 p.m. Superb Industries, United Church of God, and Legacy Christian Schools are working with the U.S. Department of Agriculture to distribute free boxes of food filled with a combination of fresh fruits and vegetables, dairy products, and meat products. The distribution will continue next Thursday from 3 to 5 p.m. in the parking lot at Superb Industries, 100 Innovation Plaza in Sugar Creek. And now, SBDC to hold startup web chats. The Small Business Development Center at Kent State Tuscarawas will hold startup web chats from noon to 1 p.m. February 15th and 17th. The chats will feature SBDC advisor and business owner Sue Geiser. Day 1 will discuss ideas, preparations, advantages and disadvantages, business plans, and funding. Day 2 will provide outlined steps to registration, permits and licensing, type of business structures, record keeping, and various considerations. Our next article, Fire Damages House Near Denison, by Lee Morrison. Firefighters from several departments extinguished a blaze at a house between Denison and Stillwater this afternoon at about 1:30 p.m. The fire was reported at 9834 Lehigh Drive Southeast in Yerkesville. It was reported at a house under construction located off of Lato Road and Feed Springs Road off State Route 800, about 3 miles south of Denison. Several firefighters were sent back to their stations about 3:30 p.m., but Denison remained on the scene at 7 p.m. Up next, teen girl, young man, subject of national search after going missing in Cleveland. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, or the NCMEC, and the Cleveland Police Department are seeking the public's help in finding 2 young people. Elena Camacho and Nathan Arona vanished from Cleveland on February 1st. Authorities said they could still be in the area. They may be traveling in a 2004 gold 4-door Honda Accord with Ohio license GTD 9555. Camacho has a tattoo of the letter M with a crown behind her ear. Arona has tattoos on both arms and the front of his neck. She is 18 years old, Hispanic, and 5 feet 3 inches tall. She weighs about 140 pounds, has light brown hair and brown eyes. He is 20 years old, Hispanic, and 5 feet 10 inches tall. He weighs about 180 pounds, has brown hair and brown eyes. If anyone has any information on either, It's urgent to contact the Cleveland Police Department at 1-216-621-1234 or the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-THE-LOST or 1-800-843-5678. And that concludes the reading of the Times Reporter for Monday, February 15th, 2021. My name is Pam. Thank you for allowing me to be in your home today. Please stay safe and be blessed.